so good?
Homer, you idiot!
Hello, hello, hello. Long time no see. Hi. I streamed a couple of hours ago. I'm back again. I'm only going to be here for about an hour. Because I'm going to work on my video. Mushatch. Hello, hello. I'm going to work on my next video. I'm going to do some research. So I'd be up for making this a kind of like a hive mind kind of situation where like, I'm going to muse and research live, and you guys can chime in with, you know, thoughts, input, stuff to help, basically. Help me out while I research this video. So this is going to be vastly more chill, laid back. I'm not going to do necessarily in a, like, big, high energy gaming or, you know, anything too wild and exciting. You know, I did that a few hours ago. I'm a bit tired, a bit achy. Ooh, my back is achy. But as I said, I'm only here for an hour or so. So I'm gonna jump in. So let's get the screen share. NR Hagato, hello. So I'm working on a Google Doc right now. I'm sort of slowly building up a script here. One chop. So by same language dubs, you mean when anime has to dub English into English? No, but that is probably going to be a point. If you've got any helpful examples of that, that would be super useful. On the subject of English, is that appropriate, by the way? Is English an appropriate term, or is that offensive? I should probably find out before I use it. But there is the instance of Kalo, hello. There is the instance of I think is it Resident Evil, the whole Master of Unlocking bit? Was that so English? Okay, so that term is offensive. I apologize for it. So. Oh, and Mario the Plumber or Plumer. Hello. So the Resident Evil. Western. Hello, Western. Penguin Mexter. Hello. Bad dialogue. So explanations for some of the bad dialogue. Okay, what is the explanations for it? Accept. Oh my, go away. Accept. There you go. There's an episode of an anime Squid Girl, where they do a whole section on characters learning how to speak English with a bunch of Japanese puns, and for the dub, they make it all about learning English accents. Okay. I'm not sure that's quite right. I mean, I appreciate. Do you have any examples, One Chop? If you've got any example, like links, maybe, like a YouTube before and after, or just the YouTube. Yeah, send me some examples. That'll probably be useful to have. I'll have a look at it, but it's not so much foreign language, to English redubs. Those make sense because it's obviously localized. Justine is raiding. Hello, Justine. I raided you. You're raiding me back. I'm talking more about where instances where it's an English thing being an English thing to an English thing. Typically American to British or British to American. But instances where they've redubbed an American character with an English character, and I'm going to get more into that because that's starting to lead into like the DreamWorks movies and stuff like that. What do we got? Yes, Justine. Oi, oi. Hello. A lot of scripts are bad translations. Have a lot of voice actors got the scripts out of context. The actors never knew what tone or how the actors said their lines. Yeah, true. Maybe if you've got some examples, that would be cool. So Mary the Plume. Are we talking about poorly made dubbing of the same? Not poorly made. The real crux of it is about how there's this kind of period from the early 2000s up to, like, I'd say about 3 or 4 years ago, where movies would, like, add in, say, like, an American movie would add in some British celebrities to the British version of the movie. Well, for no real reason, no creative reason. It's usually just because it's, like, it's promo. Like how in Shrek 2, the Brits got Jonathan Ross and Kate Thornton instead of Larry King and Joan Rivers. And that, especially the Joan Rivers one, that made it worse because Kate Thornton is not anywhere close to that Joan Rivers energy. So sometimes it just generally makes the film worse. They try to cram in British people to promote it to Britons, but in turn made the film worse. And there's like tons of examples where like they'll add in influencers like Dan and Phil, I think, are in Big Hero 6. Auntie Peters is in Toy Story 2. In Wreck-It Ralph, the Breaks the Internet, it has Dan TDM. So there's like a lot of instances where like there's these like cameo appearances, but only exclusively to one region. And like there's been a few instances of it being vice versa, like where Robbie the Reindeer and Magic Roundabout get sent to America. They get my lights are going crazy. They get like fully redubbed with American actors to appeal. Joe Sugg and Casper are in something, yeah. So there's a few examples of it, and I'm kind of like looking into like what happened. Dan DTM was only in cinemas, I think, for British cinemas, right? Still, not just like general cinema release. Yeah. So okay. So that's the main crux, but obviously I'm sort of building up to it. So my first step is to figure out whether Resident Evil is an example. So Zuby says, I don't think English is offensive. It just means bad written English, spoken English. Depends how you want to use it. Okay. Is it offensive? Is it offensive? What does it say? It's a slang term. In popular culture, it doesn't say anywhere it's offensive. I'd be curious to know. Japlish. Yeah, I'd be curious to know if it is actually offensive. Oh, there's a few more terms down there. I've got to be very careful with this one. So I guess it's derogatory. Somebody's saying it's derogatory. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Is it offensive? Yeah, I'm probably gonna just avoid that term. There's a mixed consensus. That's an oxymoron. There's mixed messages over whether it's offensive or not. So I'm going to not. I mean, I wasn't planning on using that term anyway. I've forgotten about it, to be honest. But I'm going to just generally avoid that and just say it's a mistranslation. So what have we got in here? I've had this on my screen for so long, so I really hope there's nothing offensive on here. Basically, Japanese don't have plurals and only use pronouns to be specific. So the translators got the script out of context. They never looked at the game. That's why the stress is in the wrong place. Translation isn't bad. It just sounds like Japanese put it straight into English. There's no source for this. This is just hypothesizing, I think. There's just generally there's no article that confirms. Mexican celebrity voice in Mexican celebrity voices Donkey. Oh, Mexican celebrities voice Donkey and Shrek dub, and that was a nice surprise for me. Yeah, and I'm sure there's like, whenever it goes from English to foreign language, I'm sure they are respectively, famous people within their countries or something. But it's more when it's English to English, when there's no need to redub them, but they do because it promotes something. So it's not so much of that. Another anime example. Right. Okay. Yeah. It has English locals in the Japanese dub, but in the English dub, I assume, they're replaced by different English speaking actors. So okay, so they were English in one dub, and then they're another English in another dub. I guess they just did a whole blanket redub. I guess. I guess it's more like if there's some cool examples of like specifically where one character got redubbed, like everyone else is the same, but one character got replaced, or maybe two characters got replaced. Like basically not the whole cast, just like one or two, and like, and why? Okay, so Roger, you say Professor Layton's series with Luke got redubbed? Is that true? I'll come back to that. I'm still on one train of thought right now. I get distracted, which is Resident Evil. So is the bad dialogue in Resident Evil, the Master of Unlocking, is that a result of a straight translation? Because I'm looking for an example here of translation instead of localization. So translation where I'm aware of the TV tropes. Thank you, Mario. So there's the instance of there's translation where you just take the literal foreign language script and translate it to English, and you just say that verbatim. And then there's of course the localization where instead of just like taking the verbatim translation, you then recontextualize it, re-script it to mean the same sentiment, but to make more sense to a English speaking territory. So okay, Luke has two different actors for the US and the UK. That's interesting. So Okay, I've got to come back to Luke. I'll make a note of Luke. So Luke, Professor Layton, US v UK. I'll come back to that. I'll make a note. I feel like Ghibli will fit into this. Sure. There's been a few versions of the Ghibli redubs, haven't there? Like there's like the Disney redub and then another redub, right? Ghibli. I can't spell Ghibli or say it apparently. Redubs. Disney-fied. Okay, I'm just making a note of that. So, as it turns out, Cartoon Network redubbed Peppa Pig for American audiences. Yep. Oh, it's lost media. Yes, there's also apparently, I'd love to find it. There's apparently when I think on Channel 5, I think for the UK, there was a few episodes of the Powerpuff Girls redubbed into English, British. I would love to find that. I haven't actually looked yet, but the fact that it exists piques my curiosity because I think they did it and it tanked and they bailed on it hard and just stuck to the American versions. But if that's true, if that exists, I'd love to hear it because that's going to be so weird. But focus. One thing at a time. We got to figure out Resident Evil. So why is Resident Evil 1 dialogue? Resident Evil 1 dialogue. So it exists. It is bad dialogue, but why is it bad dialogue? Nothing helpful here. Oh, that's because I put dial log. Actinoms has got to shoot off. Thank you for swinging by. How's things doing? 34 people here. Hello. Thank you very much for hanging out with me while I figured this out. So, Resident Evil 1. Why was the script so weird and bad? Is there an explanation? IGN. So okay, these are just the quotes. Okay. Sure. Yeah. But why? Why the quotes? Resident Evil, the video game. Yep. That's just the quotes again. I don't want the quotes. I want, like, a reason, an explanation. I wonder if anyone's dug into, like, what caused the bad dialogue. Translation error, I assume, but, like, I want to source it. I want to find somebody having, like, dug into it and confirmed that that's the case. Resident Evil is one of those games produced with an English dub, even for the Japanese audience. Oh. Same with Time Crisis and Parappa the Rapper. Oh. So it was always English. That's interesting. Even for Japan. Okay, that's good to know. Where did the script come from? Okay, what's this? Resident Evil was notorious for its bad dialogue. Performances can be chalked up to bad actors. While it cannot be blamed for the terrible writing, which is entirely due to a lack of localization. In many cases, they were translated from Japanese as literally as possible. What is it instead of what the? Making the dialogue sound stilted and almost alien at times. I took a word-for-word transcript. Is this the transcript? Well, again, that gives no source. Terminology. So this is just all the. This is all the dialogue. Okay, I don't need all the dialogue. LA Weston found the Powerpuff Girl thing. Oh, please put it in the Discord. Please put it into the Hive Mind Discord. I want to see it. That's wild. Okay, no, this is somebody making a fan script. I'm not looking at that. That's why Parappa uses Jacken instead of rock, paper, scissors. Okay. It is sounding like it was just like Japanese scripted, translated, but not localized, and the American actors just did them verbatim, and that's why we've got it. But I need a source. I need proof. I need, like, some article that confirms this is, like, this definitely occurred. You know, anything official. So this is just it's a lot of people just talking about the dialogue, but not why. That's yeah. There's nothing. Okay, nothing here. So Resident Evil. So is it Japan script? Is that what is that? Actually, do you know what? Okay. A Resident Evil Wikia ought to help. I don't think Resident Evil should be focused on. Oh? How come? I just figured that was a nice example. Like, it'd be a nice popular quip for, like, I say a bit here of, where is it? Doing a straight translation of any language could have strange results. And so then I wanted to go into Resident Evil as a specific example where they do a straight. So it's I'm trying to highlight a difference of translation versus localization. And I'm thinking Resident Evil might be one of the most popular. If you have another suggestion, I'd be thrilled to take it. But that's why I'm focusing on Resident Evil, because that's the one that springs to my mind when I think of a seemingly, until I can prove it, a seemingly translated script, not localized script. So official localization. Wait, no, these are transcripts. This is wrong. Franchise games. Yeah. Resident Evil. There we go. I watched the Powerpuff vid and I felt like I was in Uncanny Valley. Oh, okay. I gotta check out the Uncanny Valley vid. All right. Hang on. Oh, there's also an article that LA's shared about Resident Evil. Let's have a look. Let's look at this Powerpuff Girls thing first.
Buttercup? Blossom? Where are you?
Wait, this is false. This says false. Is it? Believe it or not, the original series at one point had a redub. What you hear is the actual takes. It aired. Sorry for the out volume. This is definitely saying false. Why would it say false? What is it saying down here? I've come to the realization the voices heard in the clip are actually Joe Wyatt. In fact, I don't even think a British dub of the show actually exists. I'm sorry for spreading false information. Okay. It's not false. It's just the same voice actress instead of multiple ones. Right. So it's one actress doing all the voices, but I still doubt that this is true.
Oh no, I don't like this.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
Oh, Buttercup,
I'm doubtful. I'm doubtful this is right. I want to see it like in media res. I want to see it. I want to see like actual animation. I'm doubtful that that's quite right. Oh, hello. Ooh. But what's this article you shared? The explanation for Resident Evil. So they explain why the voice acting was awful. So retro. So this is DC Douglas and Jonathan Klein. Who are they? David Vincent, Klein, the English producer. DC Douglas is Wesker. Okay. I think about Resident Evil 1. I think of Sergio Jones playing Wesker in that. It sounds horrible. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Japanese always pick. Okay, so it's 300 lines. Japanese always pick what they think sounds good in their minds, not necessarily what sounds good to an English-speaking audience. But they started doing it, and then they realized, yes, people want good actors in their video games. So when there's contextless bits of dialogue with multiple takes, the person choosing the audio doesn't speak English as a native language. So it makes sense that there's some bad bits that get chosen from the final cut. Right, so that doesn't sound like that's necessarily a bad translation. It's just explaining the performance, right? So that's just explaining the weird intonation was chosen because it's being picked out by somebody who doesn't speak English. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't quite explain the script. So... yeah, it's not quite... Yeah, not quite right. That is very helpful. Thank you for those. But it's not quite... I should probably just keep that open. I'm just popping the Discord in and out, and I'm seeing it brushing past the corner. So... Okay. So Resident Evil, here we go. So let's close that. I want to talk about development. Oh, wow. That's a short article for Resident Evil 1. Wow, guys. Oh, here we go. Development. Here we go. So the game was... Let's close this because it's going to make it lag. Produce a horror game. Programming. Story writer for the game was defined in 2 stages. Early project was created with a team of planners, a larger created worked for the story, alterations, Scooby-Doo. I think the Japanese version of Dark Souls is a dubbed English version, even though the game was developed in Japan. Right. Yeah, fair enough. I'm scanning through just to see where it actually talks about the dialogue. A little interested in a long, complex story. It was just flowcharts, general story, over time. Capcom's executives were dismissive. Horror story, available materials with new ideas brought in to replace Rockman. Why are we talking about Rockman all of a sudden? Okay, so it talks about the characters' names. A number of files. Plots existing. This just seems to be general story. It's still not talking about really the dialogue stuff. Hello, Zoipi. Hello. A Japanese dub. Oh, okay. Here we go. Japanese dub was initially envisioned by Capcom as the game itself was being developed on the belief it would be only released in Japan. This was cut out due to concerns about the quality of the actors, with Mikami saying in interviews they were really lame. Elements of the Japanese dub are released on disc 2 out of the album, as well as complete disc. Outside of Japan, only an English dub was commissioned, using actors readily available in Japan who could be hired quickly. Actors were given a translated script to work on, which was not localized to read naturally. Voice director Lynn Harris, herself the voice of Rebecca, was tasked to give a slow, clear performance so players could not misunderstand the dialogue. Okay, so where a Bioflames archived interview with Shinji Mikami. Okay, great. It's a web archive. This is great. This is an interview with the creators, but this is just a text doc. Where does this come from? This is an interview with Japanese magazine Famicom Tushin. This seems to be... I mean, I assume this is right. There are 2 types of dub for the Spanish language: Latin America and Spanish for Spain. Right. Fair enough. But okay, this is just a retyped out. This isn't. Yeah, there's usually the point out. There's a thing to point out. Usually, whenever anime hires English voice actors, they usually hire local rather than sourcing out to American studios. That's fair. That does make sense. It is explaining stuff. I can't find the UK dub for Phineas, but here's proof. Oh! Huh. Fair enough. Was that because... I mean, why did they replace Christian Slater? Let's see. So, okay, I still need to know where this is from. Where is this from? It's archived from the original. Oh, there's an original. Right, Bioflames. What was Bioflames? Okay, well, this is great. This does... let me get the actual link here. Sound. So this is great. This does at least seem to confirm that part, but I would love to see this being more like an actual screen. I mean, I guess it's a translation, right? What is Bioflames? Does that still exist? No, Bioflames does not exist, whatever it was. In Toy Story 3, there's a Spanish dub. He still speaks Spanish, but with a huge thick accent. And if you have the Spanish captions on, all the Spanish lines are captioned in English. Right? Yeah, that makes sense. I did wonder about how Spanish buzz worked in Spain, and then yeah, I understood it was just a thicker, heavier accent. So okay. Another interview from night. Oh God, this isn't even like from this page. This is from. Oh, okay, we're going levels deeper. This is from an interview from September 1996. Where? This is from the Famicom magazine. Before they began. Summary, what we can learn from the interview, nothing new. Okay, so this is from some that magazine called Famicom Tushin from September 1996. Christ. This is like the efforts I have to go to try and source anything. Christ, I really doubt I'm going to find scans of this magazine. Let's see. Is it now just known as Famitsu, or is this just like it's autocorrect thinking I mean something else? Seeing nothing for this. Do you know what? I'm going to keep music playing just while I keep working for a bit here. I'm going to have it on the low. So, let's do let me know if that's too loud, or well, let me turn up a tiny bit because that's a bit quiet. There we go. Right, so this seems to be the magazine, but it's going to be really hard for me to try and find. You found it. The magazine is in Japanese. When was it? It was September 1996. So if you've got it, that'd be great. I'll take this too. This is just like a lot of arse covering. It's just a lot of like, I just want to make sure that I definitely have a source for anything that I claim. I don't want to keep spreading misinformation. Yeah. I think I might have to give up trying to find the actual original scans, unless there's just generally a website that carries every scan. Is it on archive? Okay. Ooh. Yeah. There is a website. Archive.com has every... Well, it's a bit too soon to say if it has every copy, but it certainly has copies. Is this what you find in Okian? So... I guess I want to go for that. Ooh. It doesn't say what issue number. It just says from September 1996. Let's try the bi-weekly one, because that has 3 results. Okay. It is Famitsu. It seems to be what Famitsu was called before it became Famitsu. Right? 1986. 1992. It's gonna be 1992 as well. Spring 1993. No, it's 1996 we want. Oh, it's the wrong magazine anyway. It's Turbo Force. Alright, let's try Famitsu. This is a long shot. 169 results, nice. A lot of bikinis. Okay, can I search Famitsu 1996? There's one. September 1996. September 1996. This will be wild if we found it. God, there's no way to tell. Okay. Is this it? Is this the magazine? Plasky Plays. Hello, Ed. How are you on this fine day? The family and the lads had a wonderful Christmas. Yes, I think so. I think we made of it what we could. So, okay. Okay, Okian, you could try and read it. Okay. Alright, I tell you what, I'm gonna share the link in the chatteroo. Have a dig through this magazine and see if you can find what page the interview with the creators of Biohazard 2. If you can find what page that is. Because that would be great if I could include that. Basically, I just want to prove my theory is that the Resident Evil script was a pure translation, not localization. So, okay. Moving on. So I think we got something for that now. Okian's going to look into that part for me. Page 69. How nice would that be? Let's have a look. Page 69. Let's have a look. That doesn't look like it. That doesn't look like anything. Resident Evil like. Oh wait, I'm on 68. Yeah, still not quite. Was that a long shot? Was that you be like, yes, 69? Oh yeah, Eddie, I didn't know you're live. Yeah, I'm live. Of course I'm live. Where else would I be? I'm only live for like another half hour though. My mistake is 420. Anyway, so one shot if that's the Persona series, I assume. Okay, from the screen caps I saw before. One shot if you're still here, or anyone else indeed. Is there an example of a notably bad English dub of Esme? Hello. Thank you for the sub. Is there an example of a notably bad dub, like an anime dub, or indeed any foreign language to English dub? Is there like an especially bad example? Yeah, maybe even memed. Is it? Yeah, you know what I mean. There's a cool example of that. Have a recommendation. I'm sure I'll find it pretty easily, but that's one I need to find a blank for. Okay, so I have a section here dedicated. I'm not going to dwell on this one too much because it's heavy, but there are instances where English to English redubs occur when America uses a certain term that even I can't say, and I encourage the chat to not say the word either, which is a term that in America is harmless to mean erratic or clumsy, but in the UK it's a derogatory term, a derogatory slur for disabled people. So, it's only in the UK where it's an offensive term, to the point where I checked Ofcom, and it is regarded as being one of the highest tier swear words not permitted on TV unless it's given heavy contextualization. I'm not 100% sure I'm even allowed to say it. But it's in a Weird Al Yankovic song, it's in Rugrats, it's in Friends, SNL, like it occurs Mario Party as well, yep. It occurs in all these examples where they had to do a dub. I mean, in most of those cases, they would probably just do an edit or re-rate the episode in question or something. Joel, no one else's chat is doubling up as far as I'm aware. I'm not seeing it my end, at least. Let me check in here. Nope, it's looking fine to me. So those are instances where it almost became necessary to dub or alter or something like that. So, like, yeah, and the other example is that in The Simpsons, I can say this word, fanny. In America, fanny means butt. But in the UK, fanny means vagina. So that has different context, and in fact, it occurs in The Simpsons a bunch of times, which is met with little chuckle, because it's a naughty word. So a bad dub of any language other than English, of being a bad translation of... Wait. A bad dub in any language other than English, being of bad translation, or just bad voice acting? Well, I do question necessarily if it's necessarily bad voice acting, because it's usually just the material they're given. And it's down to, like, say, the editor or the voice director to guide them. So it may be that they just also didn't speak English, so they couldn't tell. As we learnt with Resident Evil, they couldn't tell whether or not the dialogue was bad. They just went, it sounds vaguely right, so I'll pick that one. So I'm saying, likewise, a term that's inoffensive in one country could be offensive in another, like The Simpsons fanny. Like this word, I'm not going to say it, but Weird Al did. In the US, it's generally regarded as harmless to simply mean erratic or clumsy, but in the UK, it's a slur. So it appears in Friends and Rugrats and SNL. So it just needs to be altered. So something like that. I hate the particular word that's being called. It's more hurt. I hate the particular word being called. It's more hurtful than you think. Yeah, it's strange because it's one of those terms. I'm obviously going to have to be very delicate with this part, like to present the word on screen. I want to avoid saying it, but I might present it on screen just like the word, because it seems to be a term that's born out of 1980s UK playgrounds, because there was instances where there was like a Blue Peter episodes with Joey Deacon, who then got, like, people would then call other kids Joey Deacons to refer to this, like, disabled person, and because there was Scope, the UK charity, which was their former name. This could have, in conjunction together, just turned it into a derogatory slur that then people appropriated. And so it has now transformed the word. So now it is regarded, as I said, by Ofcom as being one of the highest tier slurs that cannot be shown on TV or radio without heavy context. So, but this is a word that America does not know about. This is a slur that America doesn't know it has, because they use it and it's harmless. It doesn't mean the same thing to them. Tiger Woods said it, and nobody in America batted an eyelid, but then the UK did, and he had to apologize to the UK. I'm gonna make a note for this. I'm gonna clean up this. I'm gonna clean up this part, definitely. But yeah, it's strange. It's yeah, it's something that America is unaware of. I mean, I was talking to my wife about it and asking her, like, what do I do? Do I say it because I am giving it heavy contextualization, or should I not? And she was like, I mean, like, we were like arguing, like, do kids today even still use this term? And I don't think so. I think it seems such like an old-fashioned word. It's an 80s word. Can I say what it rhymes with? I guess plastic. So, yeah, do with that what you will. But like kids today, I don't think do use it. I think because it's been so heavily like quashed down by UK media because it's not allowed to be shown on TV. It is like faded from like usage, right? Hello, call me Tommy. And so, and like even like kids today who may be online a lot and would pick up slurs and swears from one another, like even Americans aren't going to teach them that word because they don't know it's a slur. So you know there are other slurs they could use for disabled people and you know terminology to imply ineptitude or idiocy or something like that. But you could also use the rhyme to allude the word that word that rhymes with plastic. I guess I could. I mean, again, I might show the word on screen. I think that's the thing I might do because the Weird Al Yankovic song, bad words. I can't remember the one with oh god, the one with the Miley Cyrus wiggling her bum, whatever that song was called. His song is it has the words on screen. So if I'm going to use it, I'll probably use that. So it's not being said, it's just being presented on screen. But yeah, so since kids can't pick it up from other kids, like if they're going to play online gaming and they're going to use slur words back and forth, Americans aren't going to introduce that to the Brits. So if anything, I could be at risk at reintroducing this word to the populace if I talk about it. So I'm going to be slightly careful. No, Joel, we're not talking about the R word. That's the one that people do still use. It's a different word. Yeah, again, let's not. I don't want the word to be in the chat, so let's not share it there. I know nobody has so far, but we're flirting awfully close to it, so let's not. But I'm just saying that this is an example where a dub could be necessary. When Weird Al Yankovic performed this song live, which I saw live, he just ends the song before it gets to that part. That's sort of his way to circumvent that thing. And like Weird Al has always made it his thing to like never swear. I'm gonna have to note this too. Weird Al never swear. Weird Al generally never swears in any of his music. Like not generally, sorry. He has never sworn. He makes it his point to never swear in any of his parody songs because he wants it to be accessible to everyone. So he was naturally horrified to find out that he has accidentally sworn. So like there's a lot of like for a period of time any parody song would be attributed to Weird Al, despite him having nothing to do with it, because it just became the thing. It's like, oh, it's a parody song, it's a Weird Al song. They became sort of one and the same. So he had to sort of make the point. It's like, hey, if it swears, it's not me. Except this one. About a bad dub. In the PlayStation game Medieval in Spain, this axe loves slaughter as much as me because the dub was a novelty. The Spanish dub accidentally the word slaughter got changed to laughter, but the writing had the correct translation. So this axe loves laughter as much as me. I guess it's not quite right. It's not quite what I'm after. It's English to English is the thing I'm particularly interested in, not like foreign language to English or foreign language to foreign language. English to English is the one that I'm after. So there's a few instances in Luigi's Mansion 2. A couple of the boos speak British. And I'm not 100% sure why, but I do love that. So, like, let's see. Is this the right one? So Ooga Booga. American, did I scare you? My name is, wait for it, Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga, did I scare you? My name is, wait for it, Ooga Booga. That's the same. But, well, why? What's changed? Oh, my name's and my name is. That's the one change they did in that line. Wow, they just dropped the apostrophe. In this one, so okay, I should probably explain. I got too far ahead of myself. Sorry. In Luigi's Mansion 2, there are boos that you catch, and when you catch them, they have a little quip just to give them a slice of personality, and then you have to catch them. And so this is like a list of all their, their names and the quips that they give. But uniquely, there's a few boos who instead have an altered line or a name. It's Resident Evil 2. What's Resident Evil 2? What's Resident? Oh, they're talking. Well, yes, they are talking about Resident Evil 2, but it was more. Isn't the article talking about the fact why the dialogue is strange with the first game? Oh, okay, you're still looking at it. Thank you, though. Thank you for checking. So I don't know why, but a few of the boos in the British version have a different line than the American version. So in America there's Boutine, and in British there's Boolean. But I don't know why. So the line for the Boutine is ha ha ha, I'm Boutine with extra gravy. And Boolean is ha ha ha, I'm Boolean. Shall I let you stew a bit or pulverize you now? I have theories as to why, but I have nothing to back this up. There's no discussion over the renamed boos. The other one, which is my favorite one, is Booger in America and Boonser in British. So the Booger is, I'm Booger, why must you pick on me? And Boonser says, I'm Boonser. You think you can be in here? Nah, mate, not with those shoes. Now clear off. I love that. I love that. Like, just to have that in a Luigi's Mansion game, the Britishisms. Nah, mate, not with those shoes. I love that. I love that. Apparently, it's apparently a in-betweeners line, so I might have to check that out. But yeah. Now again, I can't say for sure why. Why would they bother? Why would they bother changing Booger and Boutine into to be completely different in the UK? There seems to be no reason for it. My theory, and I have nothing to back this up, this is pure speculation, but my theory is that Booger sounds a bit like bugger, and Boutine sounds a bit like booty. And so just to escape any possible slur, or not slur, swear, just to escape any possible connection there, they just changed the line. They just changed the boo and changed the line. That's it. I got nothing. There's been like I did a Google search already. I can't find anything that explains why Britons have a different boo. That's pure speculation, but I have to shout out Boonser because I just love the line. I love the nah, mate, not with those shoes. I just loved it. It's just so funny to me. But I got nothing to back up why they did it. But I do want to give it a mention. So, the Luke from Professor Layton. Luke. Oop. Alright. Luke Triton. I do find the fandom wikis to be heavily reliable because they go into way more detail than the regular Wikipedia does. They're less reliable when it comes to sourcing, and that becomes more of a dredge to have to like dig around and find where they got their information from. Like the one for Goofy about Goofy's wife and the actual images that I found for it was from somebody having bought from an auction an old pitch Bible for Goof Troop. And I had to do a lot of digging to find that person's Tumblr page to actually find the sourced information. But at least Wikia does imply the fandom wikis do like at least share more information than the regular Wikipedia does. So yes, we have 2 English voice actors for Luke. But why? Does this article share why? Okay, we've got more of the character.
Hello, Professor. This reminds me of a puzzle, it does. Oh, blimey. I'm a little puzzle boy.
Wow, okay, no, it doesn't talk about the voices. But why? Why does Luke... American, my name rhymes with booger. British, so you have chosen death. Yeah, but Britons don't really say booger to mean the stuff you pick out your nose. We say bogey. So maybe that might have been part of it. That'd be like booger. Well, that doesn't mean anything to us. So, I mean, they could have just changed it to boogie instead. But they didn't. They just changed the whole line. So, I found the word. That's the bad word, though. I think I heard it in songs, too. Yeah. Oh, Sadumi, were you looking up what word we were looking for? Yeah. Yeah, you would have heard it in songs because it's generally seemed as harmless, apart from in the UK. It's also, in Australia, it was, like, used in, like, signs and stuff, like, for, like, parking. But even now, they have slowly phased that out. So, like, it's less of a problem in Australia, but they are starting to phase it out just to say disabled instead. Yeah, it's generally it's particularly in the UK, it's a very offensive term. But seemingly only in the UK. Why does Luke have 2 voice actors? This article doesn't explain. You've let me down, fandom. Not Ace Attorney. Okay, let's try the general Wikipedia. Does anyone know why Luke from Professor Layton has 2 English voice actors running concurrently for different territories? Let's see. Okay, no, that it does have the act. Wait, is this? What is this? Are you sure this is are you sure this is 2 different voice actors in different territories, or is this like they're clones of each other? Is this a gag, or is that part of plot point? Because I know there's meant to be an older and a younger one at some point. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, ooh, Teeth Bard. Hello. So we have a US English, and then other English territories. That's for the DVD. And then, okay, what's this? What's behind the voice actors? Oh, yes. But why? Why? Yeah, so we got our 2 English voice actresses. But it doesn't say why. Why Luke has 2 voice actors is the real puzzle to be solved, right? Right? Why does he have 2 voice actors? Explain to me. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. So I want to get to the bottom of this puzzle, and then I will probably make it. Also, the English movie... Sorry, the movie Eternal Diva has just the UK actress, likely because it was released in English in the US first. Okay. But why? 2 English voice actors. Why did they change? They didn't change it. They just used in the UK's one because they were too lazy to get his American one. I doubt that. Let's see. I wonder if there's any truth to this. So, the American English voice actor was met with dislike when a British English audience tested with the game. Okay, so Okian. Only biohazard is referenced. The only biohazard referenced is in Famitsu was the Resident Evil 2 ad page, which doesn't help much. Right, so maybe it's the wrong magazine. Maybe we lucked out, or no, unlucked out and didn't find the right magazine for it. So I'd have to keep digging into that one and find a better source. We got close though. Thank you so much for checking into that. That's very, very kind of you. The US one should have the US voice. So is this an instance where the UK just didn't like the voice and so they changed it? That feels like a lot. That seems like a lot. Well, no, it is the September issue. Well, maybe, but maybe there's something. Maybe there's something else wrong. Maybe it's not quite right. Maybe there's multiple. Maybe that's a special as opposed to a monthly. I don't know. There could be many explanations why it's not the right magazine. But like I mean like I want to keep looking into maybe other sources to confirm the translation localization argument. So Nintendo America always had US Luke and Europe had UK Luke. But the film have the UK Luke. Okay. So this is people just guessing. They're just guessing why the actor changed. There's nothing to back that up. Testing in the UK badly does scan. Because in children's shows, we tend to replace... If we get an American children's show, like preschool, come to the UK, the whole cast will be re-recorded in British. And vice versa. If British shows get sent to America, they get totally redubbed as well. So it does potentially make sense that the UK voice actor changed. But there's like no explanation as to why. Like no official explanation as to why. What's this? The voice actors later series. I found out. She plays English games, and I thought Flora had the same voice. So, okay. Yeah, it just points out that there is a different... Okay, so it does confirm at least that we have a UK and a US Luke. But why? Puzzle me this. Why did they change it? Yeah, this is a wiki. Yeah, this doesn't actually explain. It's true they're completely redubbed all the lines in Shaun the Sheep. Does Shaun the Sheep have any lines? I thought that was mute. What we got? Oh. Continue. So, we know the different actors, the slight script changes, which do you prefer? Oh, no, that's a bad word. I see a bad word in there. Bad time. Alright, moving on. Oh, what's this? The good, the bad, and the ugly of British voice acting in games. This seems juicy. This is a Destructoid. Ooh. Ah! Stop. 40. My biggest what the fuck moment with British accents in games has been the sort of bog standard slightly RP accent in Forbidden Siren, the 2001 horror game created as part of Team Silent. I believe that they've been deliberately trying to subvert their usual voice acting expectations. This seems really highly opinion based. This seems like dog shit. The Ladette, the brainy what? No. This is a bad article. Fuck that article. This does nothing to help. Actually, you know what? Let's reopen that and search for Professor. Ooh. Oh. There's 5 instances of Professor, but it's not scanning the document properly. Try it again. What? Where's the... You found 5 professors. Why are you now finding none? Alright, I give up. Yeah. I'm not finding anything for a why. There's the vague... the vague consensus is that it just seems to be British people prefer a British voice compared to the American one and vice versa. But I can't see an instance where like that's confirmed. That's just speculative. Alright, okay. I guess it might be an interesting point to mention, but I can't find any interesting like explanation attached to Professor Layton. So yeah, I might mention it, but because I can't find anything concrete about it, it may be nothing more than a passing mention or an on-screen thing, rather than something I dwell on. Yeah, because unless I can find a reason why they redubbed, unless I can find an official reason why, I think a lot of these decisions require some old-fashioned journalism. What, going to the library and scanning through like hundreds of old newspapers? Like, no. I'm googling my answers. Yeah, unless there's an official reason beyond just like the same reasoning as the preschool stuff, I might not dwell on this point too heavily. It's the movie stuff that interests me more. It's the fact that you get Shrek, Big Hero 6, Cars, Zootopia. Like a lot of these films have like characters that they just have somebody redub as a promotional thing, and I want to dig into more of those. Anyway, I have to jump off now. I'm gonna take over looking after my son. So my wife, who's been looking after him all day, can catch a breather, and then take him to bed. So the room was completely redubbed, yes, but that was just an ADR. ADR is different. I'm not talking about ADR. It's more like where you've got an American movie and you got the English, a British voice actor to play one role in the British release of the movie, not just like a casting or an ADR type decision. Like for example, in Soul, one of the characters is played by Graham Norton, and I thought for a moment, oh wait, is this another one? Is this where he voices him in the British version, and in America it's somebody else? But no, it's him. It's him in all territories. So it seems to be generally a thing that's has passed on. Anyway, I am done for now. I'm gonna hop off. It's someone to raid. We're a bit late in the day. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna just change the camera to me. Hi. While I check the raid situation. Who is online? No one. I obviously don't follow enough people. No one's online. So with that, hello. Thank you, people, for hanging out with me for the past hour. You ever wonder how Wally's lines were redubbed in other territories, even though all he says is Eve and Wally, and they have someone else to do the same thing? Is that someone? Is that a thing? Fair enough. It maybe to do with like intonation or something. I mean, there's still the odd lines said, right? You know, like objective and stuff like that. So there are still lines they say, and if they're going to redub that, they must well redub the whole thing. So I mean, it can't be many lines to have to redub. It's just intonations, right? It's like I Am Groot. Like Vin Diesel voices I Am Groot in every territory, which is probably a worthwhile note to make. I'm going to write that down. Vin Diesel Groot, because all he has to do is like Je suis Groot, ich heiße Groot, you know. Just there you go, you've covered 2 languages already. Redubs. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for everyone who's been helping out. Thank you, One Shot, thank you, Okean, for all your input and all your help with that. Has been great. It's been really, really helpful. There's a lot more digging to do. A lot more research I need to do, and I'm probably going to do more of these research streams. Different energy, as I said, to my gaming and hangout and fun time stuff. But this was fun. I did enjoy this. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, and I'm now going to head off. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. We're going to do a New Year's Eve thing. Okay? Tomorrow, 10 p.m. Join me for that. I'm going to be streaming New Year's Eve. We're going to clock over and see 2020 die right before our eyes. Okay? Bye-bye.